Welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories, hotties, and constant disappointments, naughties. Here are your hosts, Michael Beck, Hicks, and Dwight Slappe.
Welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty. I'm Dwight Slappe.
I'm Michael Beck.
And I'm Hicks.
Hey fellas, we're recording this on Father's Day. And, and we're all fathers in our own way, but Slice, you're the only one with human children, which is a choice.
It is.
So do they have anything special planned for you today?
Hell no, they're still asleep. Kevin stirred for a moment to wish me. He slept on the couch down here in the living room. Up in the living room from where I am down here in the basement, but because it was too hot in his room last night. So he stirred and said Happy Father's Day, likely because Autumn reminded him it was Father's Day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then he rolled back to sleep.
Oh. What were you expecting? Like them to have breakfast laid out for you when you woke up?
Oh God, no, that dream died years ago. That's never happening. Nope. I'm just hoping my blood pressure stays normal today. That's it. That's all I want for today.
They're going to get up and, hey, Dad, we've planned a special day for you. We're taking you to Dave & Buster's. Let's go to Dave & Buster's, Dad.
Yeah, I love this. And then we're going to the skate park after that.
When I was a little boy, my father used to say every day should be Father's Day.
And that's what started years and years of therapy. Well, happy Father's Day to Slice, and also to you, Beck, as a dog father. Not Snoop Dogg, not as Snoop Dogg is the dog father.
No,
but you have a dog that
Yes.
you are the father of. Yes, that's what I was saying.
Yes.
Well, and Happy Father's Day to our resident cat daddy, Dwight.
Thank you.
You're the perfect dad.
Thank you. I did. Last night we made the big step. In the last 6 months, we had brought in a stray cat into the house, so we had a litter box upstairs because the cat had to be quarantined for a while. And so last night I decided to move the litter box downstairs in the basement with the rest of the litter boxes. And my present today was nobody shit anywhere they weren't supposed to shit. So
Nice.
Happy Father's Day to me. Yeah.
That's a great gift.
Dwight, I hope that every day is Father's Day for you in that sense.
We're not counting, like, I can still shit wherever I want to, right?
Yes.
That's the whole point of being daddy. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Daddy goes where he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, should I be expecting Coco, my poodle mix, to be making me breakfast this morning?
Delicious kibble. That's all she knows. So you'll be having kibble, and I think it would break her heart if you refuse the kibble.
Definitely.
I might get a duck's foot or a pig's ear.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just, if she wants to go classic, just a simple rawhide dental chew.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Perhaps
be nice.
perhaps a field mouse that she caught while you were taking her on walkies.
Or exotic, maybe a snake today.
Ooh.
I don't think Coco is capable of catching a snake or a mouse, but that would be nice.
You think that, but one day you're going to find a pile of bones and find out that she's a sadistic killer.
Oh no! Oh
Then it
no!
will really be the test of
My
your love as
dog
a father.
is a psychopath. Oh no!
Now, with animals, the first sign of being with people, the first sign of being a psychopath is killing animals.
Mhm.
When an animal's a psychopath, do they kill like kids first?
Well, she kills me a little bit every day, I guess, in the sense that she makes me go out and walk around for an hour.
By making my body go in the sun. Sun. What a great opening, talking to each other segment. Guys, I'm glad we did that. But let's get into to why we're here and our first hottie. I've been having a lot of fun watching the World Cup and making a little money on the side by betting on the World Cup. And I wish everything was as easy to bet on as the first few rounds of the World Cup, but it's not. But we're going to enjoy it while we have it. But it made me think, what is your hottiest moment of sports fandom? Michael Beck.
Well, I was just wondering, Dwight, what have you been putting all your money on Portugal? I don't know how soccer or how betting on soccer works. Who's in the World Cup? I assume it's always Portugal.
That actually would have screwed me pretty good because I think they drew in their first round match, their first match of the group stage. So far, the best teams are Germany, the US of A somehow. Let's not talk about how good America's playing, but we are playing very well. And this episode will release before they play again. So right now, we're still really good. Who knows what will happen in the next game? But right now, USA, USA. I mean, it's too early to tell. They're in the group stage. So how that works is they put like one good team, one B level team, one C level team, one D level team in a group. And the top 2 or 3 teams in that group go into the knockout round. So right now we're just figuring out who's going into the actual 1v1 tournament. But I won some money on the Netherlands. We all love the Netherlands on this podcast.
Yes. The Dutch are very tall. Yeah, I like that about them. Yeah.
But my the sports moment topic that I was trying to get to. I told you guys this was going to be my topic, and then I realized I have terrible sports fandom. I have very few moments of like pure glory. And the closest I could come up with, what I like is being surrounded by people that all have the same rooting interest. So it's a communal experience. And that's happened with me maybe once. And it was when Marshall's basketball team made it into the NCAA tournament for the first time in like 40 years. And here's a little secret, everybody. I really don't give a shit about Marshall basketball. Who cares? I went to Marshall, sure. But I can only have so much suffering in my life. I'm a Reds fan. They won the World Series when I was 10. I didn't really get to enjoy that. There was trauma because I was staying up too late. It was way past my bedtime when they won that 4th game, when they swept the A's. So I remember Todd Benzinger catching that pop-up on the first base foul line. But in my head, I'm like, oh, great, he caught it. Got it. Damn it, I got to go to bed. Immediately, I have to go to bed. There's school tomorrow. Liverpool won an amazing semifinal game in the Champions League 7 years ago, where they had to come back 4 goals. And it's as much fun as I've had watching sports, but I was by myself in the living room yelling at my TV. So that's not a great memory. It's a good memory, but it's not like if you can't high five somebody, I don't think it's a great sports moment. Maybe that's just me. Beck, what about you? What are your favorites sports? I know you're quite a sporto, as that's what we call it. You're a sporto.
Yes, a huge sporto. They call me Mr. Sport when I go down to the local sports watching bar. As that's what they like to call it, the sports watching bar. And I say hello to the other sportos while I'm desperately trying to think of a single sport that I can name a single team in. No, so I think that my but my hottiest moment of sports fandom was probably just I remember the feeling, the surge of adrenaline walking into our alma mater, Marshall University. Their football program was very good. My freshman year of college, which began in the 1900s. In the 1999 season, and I remember going to my first Marshall football game as a first-year college student, and just really feeling like, yeah, there are, I don't know, however many people fit into the Marshall football stadium, to 30,000, 40,000, I don't know.
I would have
Thinking,
guessed 30. Yeah.
We're all here doing the same thing and watching a team that's supposed to be good and is probably going to win. And it was just a really a fun feeling of solidarity and brotherhood. And I was new to drinking then, so that was fun too. And it was just it was great, and it was really classic classic fall college football weather. It was mostly nice, but there was just a little bit of crisp chill in the air. It was a great experience, and I'm also sure, because this happened back before the War of 1812, I'm sure that I've created most of this memory, but in my mind, right, it's a great memory. It was a lot of fun. I didn't go to a ton of football games as an undergrad. I started to go to less as I aged and realized, oh, I don't actually have to go to these. But it was a fun experience, and the tailgating before the game was fun at Marshall. In many ways, Huntington, West Virginia is permanently ensconced in amber from like the 1960s and 70s. So like there were definitely tons of people tailgating, and if you were a kid who walked past in a Marshall shirt, they'd say, "Oh, here, have a beer and a ribeye steak," or whatever it was that they were grilling. And it was so much fun just to walk through the parking lot and be a part of this experience with all of the local lawyers and dentists who owned an RV and would drive to Huntington for Saturday home games and be obnoxious. It was great.
A lot of people forget the best part of tailgating is talking to a dentist.
Mm-hmm. And getting a delicious ribeye from a dentist.
Yeah. I don't even like sports, but I like to go to a tailgate and go, "Can you look at this?" and then pull my mouth open.
Is filling coming loose? Can you just crown?
And you made another great point. I've never thought about blaming all of my drinking atrocities on Byron Leftwich, but I'm going to do that now.
I have a dental sports joke. Hey, Doc, will you check out this abscess for me? Oh, am I talking about my mouth or our defensive line? Oh.
That was great.
There we go. A joke from one Sporto to another right there.
High five, Sporto.
I can't believe you finally told that joke on the podcast after you've been sending it to Jimmy Fallon for a year.
If he's not going to use it, hey.
My favorite Sporto, Jimmy Fallon.
Slice, what's your hottiest memory of sports fandom?
All right. Well, the team that the sport I'm most passionate about is football, and the team I'm most passionate about are the Pittsburgh Steelers. When I was a kid, I grew up in Ohio, so I was kind of a traitor. My uncle's the one who got me into football, and he was a Steelers fan. So, and I know the Steelers have a long history of Super Bowl wins and everything. Well, I wasn't alive for the majority of them. And so 2006, they won a Super Bowl. We were actually living together, Dwight. We watched that Super Bowl together. But That one was kind of tarnished because there was a lot of controversy around it, some suggestions there was poor officiating, there was a fix, there was this and that. And so I didn't really get to enjoy it that much, and it wasn't a very good game, honestly. But in 2009, I was living in D.C., and a buddy of mine, Jimmy Whalen, he would have a Super Bowl party every year. And this was a cool thing that I've done a few times myself. But he would make foods that represented the two teams who were in there. So like if it was Philadelphia was in there, he would make cheesesteaks. And then New England, he made like clam chowder. There was a lot of clam chowder at these because the Patriots kept going back. But so the Steelers went and they played the Arizona Cardinals in 2009, and it was a great game. It was awesome. There was a 100-yard interception return right to close out the first half. One of the most incredible pick sixes, as Mr. Sporto down there knows. It was James Harrison. It was just a thing of beauty. This convoy, this defense working as a whole, throwing blocks. This linebacker, James Harrison, normally not someone you would imagine returning an interception for the full length of the field, but through his blocks thrown by his teammates, was able to do so. I watched that interception probably at least 6 times a year. Just when I'm feeling down, I need some motivation. I was like, if James Harrison can run this back 100 yards, I can get through this day. But no, it was a great game. Came down 35 seconds left, toe tap, beautifully thrown ball to Santonio Holmes. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And, I was on the edge of my seat throughout the whole game. And it kind of put to bed, at least for me, that whole controversial Super Bowl win 3 years prior to that. But yeah,
it was a very good game. It's one of the best Super Bowls that was ever played. And I hate you a little bit all the time, Slice, because you happen to pick a team that wins. What a great feeling that must be. And how sports paints us in these little corners where I'm a Bills fan and it's nothing but heartbreak, but I'm the one that picked them. But I can still be angry about it. That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, if it's any consolation, as you are fully aware of, my youngest son, Desmond, he is also a Bills fan. So, I like to see my son happy. So as long as it doesn't affect the Steelers negatively, I will root for the Bills, and I, get to experience that heartbreak by proxy. So it's, they come all so close recently to getting to the Super Bowl, but just can't seal the deal. Someday, this is the year. Well, maybe next year after the Steelers win this year, then next year you guys can have it.
I have a very exciting idea. Since I'm relatively new to sportodom, I need to select sports teams to be a fan of for a lot of things.
Okay.
And I think I'm just going to select teams that always win in every sport.
Everybody loves that guy.
Yeah, everyone loves that guy. That guy's who wouldn't love someone who's always associated with winning teams? That guy will be the most popular person at the local sports watching bar. Yeah. Yeah. The Yankees, they win games of baseball. And the best teams in other sports as well.
Yes. Your Patrick Mahomes jersey's in the mail?
We used to frequent a bar named Hank's in Huntington, and there's a city attorney named Scott McClure who was always around. And his favorite sports teams were the Yankees, the Lakers, the Steelers, and the Red Wings. Real hard for that guy to walk around. Anytime he had a sport opinion, I was just like, you don't count in any circumstance. You don't count. I'm glad Dez is a Bills fan. Kind of makes you wonder who his dad is.
I know. Believe me. I've tried to put the orders in on when he gets blood work done. I want to know. He has hair. I don't. Who else has hair that I know? This guy. Writing's on the wall.
Some things are just meant to be a mystery.
Welcome back, everyone. So, boys, since today is Father's Day, and of course the listener will be listening to this after Father's Day when they've stopped caring about their father, or perhaps have slain their father in single combat on the very day we're recording this episode. In either case, someone in your house is probably conceiving of a little project to do right now. A part of at least my dad's life was he was always thinking of projects to do around the house. Some of these projects came to fruition. Some of these projects remain, we'll say, mired in development hell. And some of these projects were attempted, and we see the catastrophic results of those projects with us today. And a project that I have been thinking about, and obviously, before I even start talking about my projects, my lovely wife Crystal is, of course, part of the planning of any project of mine, because we don't want me to build a bounce house in the front yard that I go into during a thunderstorm and then it blows away and I die horribly because I'm drowned in the James River, wrapped in this bounce house. But we're making some improvements to my office, this very room, the room I'm recording from right now, that if you're watching on YouTube, as you should be doing, you can see. One of the projects, and an emphasis on little project, is, so I have this cork board here under my window, which savvy listeners will notice never has anything on it. And one of the reasons for that is so that my sort of workflow for work projects, my own little personal projects, or I base everything on note cards. I have note cards everywhere, and I used to use the cork board, to stick note cards in groups on with push pins, but I've been afraid to use push pins since we have Coco. I'm afraid that Coco might go up to the cork board and, I don't know, brush against the cork board. She likes to brush against fabric or fabric-like surfaces sometimes. She might, I don't know, swat away a push pin with her tail. And I don't know, I'm terrified that this is going to end with me stepping on a push pin or swallowing a push pin. So we're going to move the cork board away. I don't actually know where the cork board is going to go. And up here, where you can't see, but you can use the power of your imagination to envision a wall, to my upper right here, we're going to have two whiteboards that are magnetized, and I've acquired these magnetic push pins. And we're going to put up the whiteboards there so I can use my note cards at long last, rather than just having them float around my desk in chaos. I can organize them on the wall. And I like this because this is a manageable, doable project for this sorry sack over here. I'm sure that Slice is going to say, "Oh yeah, well, I'm digging a canal to connect the pool I'm digging in my backyard to the Ohio River, so I can take the steam paddler that I've built with my bare hands down, the Ohio to the old Mississippi." But I'll be excited if I can, with my wife's help, put up a couple of whiteboards.
Save those precious feet and your stomach from those metal sticky push pins. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, we don't want to have to take you to the vet again and have surgery.
Yeah. Now, I am a little bit concerned about someone ingesting the magnetic push pins, but they're not as pokey and jabby, so I think that would probably resolve itself. So
I don't know. I've seen enough really shitty horror movies that if you swallow enough of those magnets, then you walk through your kitchen, like all the knives will come out of the
That's
cabinets
true.
and stab you to death, right in your
Yeah.
stomach.
Well, but see that's a risk for me anyway. Ever since I made enemies with Magneto, so
Yeah.
he's it's really.
What if you became
Oh.
Magneto? If you swallow enough of those, I bet you would develop magnetic powers.
Michael Beck, the saddest X-Man.
This is I'm not really a superhero guy or know too much about the X-Men, but I've seen a couple of X-Men films, and what I really like, I love it when the bad guy and the good guy have this sort of quasi friendship.
They're
And
best
so
friends.
I really like, I really like that vibe in the X-Men where Magneto and Patrick Stewart, Mr. X, right?
Professor X.
Where they're kind of like friends, unified by their horrible trauma as Holocaust survivors. So
He only one of them was a Holocaust survivor, but and
okay.
Professor X did go to 8 years of X school, so please call him Professor X.
Yes.
Oh, forgive me. Forgive me. Slice. What
Yes.
what little project are you conceiving right now?
Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I just finished a project and I'm not ready for a new one just yet. But our friend Justin hired me to. He and his family are big donors of the local children's museum, the Huntington Children's Museum here. It's a great space. I've taken the boys. Kevin's a little too old for it, but Des has a great time whenever he goes. But they are big donors, and they bought one of these booths to develop an exhibit. Well, Justin wanted me to develop this exhibit. Ooh, why? I don't know. Have I ever done anything like that? Nope. But he put me in touch with some listeners of their podcasts who have experience with this kind of thing. So I came up with a concept. It was 3 walls. We're going to have a ribbon cutting here in the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to develop something that was accessible to various age ranges. I think the targeted age for the museum is essentially toddlers all the way up through 10 years old. And being 3 walls in the space, I thought, okay, I'm going to do one wall is really just very tactile, kind of, hands-on, just basically what it became was, if you're familiar with the McElroys, probably most of our listeners are, but they have a series called Monster Factory. So where they go and they create characters in video games and make them just really heinous and wild looking. So one wall is the Monster Factory wall, and it is, you can mix and match it. They're little tiles you flip over, and you can create your own little monster there by flipping these tiles, and random assortments and everything. And then another wall is the silly sound station. It looks like an arcade cabinet, and it's just got buttons on it you can push, and it has different sound bites. Some are just silly, like a clown laughing or honking a horn, and others like bits and snippets from some of their podcasts. And then this is the one, this was the most daunting part, was the last wall. I wanted it to be for kind of the older kids. And since they are known for podcasts, recording, and everything like that, I wanted to make a recording studio where a kid could come in and actually like record themselves and then kind of do some editing, flip things around. And what my inspiration was for this wall was the movie Home Alone 2, the talk boy that Kevin McAllister has in that. I thought, I always wanted one when I was a kid. I never had one. I just thought they were so cool, and all the different zany things he could do to make himself sound like a grown-up. So I thought that would be fun. And through working with this great guy, Ben, who is a listener of all the McElroy shows, he has done work with, if you're familiar, Meow Wolf. There are these different like immersive museum experiences throughout the country. There's one in Denver. They're working on one in New York now. I think there's one in Vegas. But they're really cool. I think the one in Vegas looks like it's almost like a 7-Eleven, it looks like. But then you can go into like the freezer, and it's this whole wild, like, black lights and everything. It's very cool. So I worked with Ben to kind of, bounce these ideas off of them, but they were ideas. I was like, I can come up with cool concepts, but how do I execute this? And that's where his knowledge really helped me out when we worked together with another guy, Kevin, who's local here, who's created other pieces for the Children's Museum. He created like the cabinets that we put like the sound station in, but also the recording studio. It looks like an old reel-to-reel with the big silver wheels on it, but you can go up, you hold down the red light up button to record your voice. Then you can play it back. You can reverse it. You can put it on a loop. You can play with the pitch. You can do like delay effects. So it's like an echo and everything. So it really, it came out really well, and I was very happy with it. Now, I was a little nervous because Ben came down to help out with the installation of it, but then he went back. And so we had that one like long weekend to do this and pull this off, but he left, and then we realized, there were some things. It's like, really childproofing these things, because kids will demolish this shit if you don't make it sturdy.
Yes.
And they kind of did on some of the knobs and things. So Slice here had to take it there and do some soldering and everything, and I haven't done things like that to that level ever. So I got it back together. It's fully functional. I hope it stays that way, and had a lot of fun doing it. It was daunting, but it was rewarding in the end. So I'm excited for this ribbon cutting. You guys should check it out sometime. And listeners, if you have kids,
that sounds incredible and impressive. It's too bad that you didn't have the technical expertise to include 2 whiteboards in your display. But
I know I thought about it, but I didn't think I could pull it off, and then I worried about those kids swallowing all those push pins, and I just couldn't do it.
I mean, it sounds great, buddy, and I can't wait to go see it, because I'm sure you've put some references to things I bought at Sheetz and Taste of Luxury in there, and you just haven't told me yet.
It's
so for it to be a nice surprise.
Yes.
When I go see it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for, there's probably a scene where you can stroke my beard or something, right? Is there like a Dwight face or?
Yes, there's a Dwight face. You're right next to Miggy Mackerel. You can also wear the fancy robes that you guys wear in Taste of Luxury. You put those on as you enter the space. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's all there.
Yeah. I hope that the Huntington Children's Museum is working toward just giving every child visitor a smoking jacket that they can wear as they tour the museum. I think that would be a nice touch. White. Mm-hmm. What's a project you're working on these days?
Well, you guys know how handy I am. So, let me try to paint a picture of what's happening in Leanne's neighborhood right now. 2 houses down, there's a rental property. And next to that rental property, there is a vacant lot where a house burned down. Now, in the last 2 weeks, in that vacant lot has appeared a 4-foot giant pool. The kind you get at like Walmart or Target or something. Mm-hmm. Big enough for a filter, but above ground. And then in the front yard of the rental property, there are now 4 inflatable pools next to the above ground pool. This side of the road, there is no sidewalk. It's just yard meets road. Okay. Across the street from Leanne is the shittiest rental place you will ever see. These children that live there have put handprints with paint all over the house, all over the front of the house. The house next to that is trying to be sold. I cannot imagine what the realtor is going through. I cannot imagine. So in the backyard of the shitty house for the last few weeks, there has been a giant tent erected. The children that live in this house are toddlers. This giant tent cannot be for the kids. So I believe someone is living in the backyard of this house. There was a couple that lived there. I don't know if they've separated and now one of them is living in the tent in the backyard.
Yeah.
So my beautification project that I've really put a lot of thought into is calling the city. I can use my strengths by talking to somebody on the phone and saying there are children playing in a pool that is literally a foot away from the road, and also a vagrant living across the street in a tent at a rental property. And if I can get those two things taken care of, I will feel very accomplished.
So Dwight, I can't believe that you are cracking down on the pop-up lazy river multi-pool situation that seems to exist next door to you.
I'm gonna get. I'll post a photo of what is happening. The other day we were in the car and Leanne's like, "I wish you would have driven by slowly from the pool, in front of the pool house, so I could take a picture." I'm like, "Honey, I will walk up the street, stand in front of their house and take a picture. Like, I don't need to hide that I am documenting what is happening in this neighborhood."
Yeah.
The house with the pools, also several months ago, had the cops called, and it was cops had sniper rifles over the cars waiting for somebody to come out of that house. We think it was somebody who broke a restraining order. A couple that just can't stay apart, man. No matter what Johnny Law says, we got to be together. Kind of situation. But
anyway,
anyway,
I have a brave suggestion.
Okay.
And that suggestion is, if I were you, I would not get involved in these people's bullshit. I would just cower behind my very elaborate, frilled, handmade lace curtains and peer at them through my monocle and remain in my nice middle-class house.
I too share the same cowardice as you occasionally, but we have this chance now because that house is on the market. They could easily make the assumption that it's the person trying to sell the house that's calling the cops. Like, I don't think they'll immediately think it's me. Obviously, the person trying to sell this house would like all of this nonsense gone.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. You just look at the sign out in the front yard, whoever the realtor is, and say, "Hey, I'm Doug Stevens, and I'm trying to sell this house down here, and it is a mess. You guys really got to get down here. There's pools on the road." Yeah, there you go. That's your out. Dwight never called. Doug Stevens called.
Hey.
Yeah. And you're getting to throw a realtor under the bus, which is great.
Exactly.
I should incorporate that into more of my home projects. Yeah.
And if I could frame a home inspector for murder while I'm at it, I'm going to do that.
As you peer out your window one day and see the poor realtor getting beaten to a pulp by your asshole neighbors.
That's when I hide behind my blinds with my monocle. I'm just, there's nothing I can do there.
Poor Doug. I mean, have you ever thought, though, that maybe they've got all that water out there because they don't want the same fate to happen to their house to burn down? They want to have that water ready. It's not for swimming. It's for the bucket brigade whenever their house catches on fire.
I mean, that's a great point, because the house did burn down up the hill from Leanne's because there wasn't enough water pressure in the hydrants.
Yep.
It was a big controversy in Charleston. They've now double-checked all hydrants. There's a lot of infrastructure change just because this one house burned down.
Sure.
It could be that, or there's a kid in that house that knows that the aliens from Signs they're on their way,
Yep.
and the only way to stop them is with lots of water.
Mm-hmm. Truth is out there.
Now I am circling back to how brave I am. So when inevitably this angry divorced man who's living in a tent behind his burned down former castle realizes that you have narked on him, are you prepared to, like, do you have your go bag ready where you can just like grab that and all of a sudden, yeah, you're a bathtub salesman in Peoria, Illinois now?
Unless I get him right when he's on the meth, like right when he's hit the meth, I can take this guy. I can take
Yeah,
him.
he doesn't have the meth strength and the numbness.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I'm sure he's never on meth, so that's...
Welcome back. Now, it's only right because, as you guys and our dedicated listeners likely recall, that a month ago, Mother's Day, I was the naughty that time around, and here I am again. Just so happens to be on Father's Day this time. So I'm going to use it again, and it's only right that we go with who is your naughtiest daddy. Now, can be real, can be fictional. It's your choice. Me, myself, this was a hard one. I looked over some things, and in the end, I came out with classic Disney villain Pete. You know, Pete, the big guy, Steamboat Willie fame. But Pete from Goofy movie, what a bad dad. Like, if you guys familiar with the Goofy movie?
Yes.
I know who Pete is, and I know who Goofy is.
Yes.
And I'm aware that Goofy has a son.
Yes, Max. Max, good kid, but he's a teenager going through, teenage things. And Goofy's trying to deal with that and be a good dad, a loving and caring dad. Now, for whatever reason, Goofy and Pete are best buds, and I don't know, opposites attract, I guess, but Pete is just a total asshole narcissist. And he's got a son named PJ who is being traumatized by Pete's fathering. He's constantly saying, my dad's going to kill me, for just the slightest of things, like touching something that belongs to his dad. Oh, my dad's going to kill me if I use his camcorder. Oh, my dad's, can't wait for me to move out of the house so he can turn my bedroom into a bowling alley. Like, there's zero love there. And, Pete's trying to give Goofy fathering advice and is telling him, you got to keep him under your thumb, and you don't need love, you just need respect. And I'm like, wow, just what a total jerk. And so he really messes with Goofy and gets in Goofy's head. And then Goofy, he's trying to become, I guess, a hard-ass dad like old Pete there. And it really, it has some negative effects on old Max. And in the end, it all works out. But yeah, Pete's just a total jerk. Always has been, even whenever he used to torture Mickey, and not even his own kid. But,
True. Is Pete also a dog?
I think so. I was wondering about that. And, I know initially he was called Peg Leg Pete because he didn't have a second leg. He just, whenever it was on that old steamboat back in black and white. But he looks like a dog to me.
I don't know. If this guy is scientifically advanced enough to regrow his own leg, maybe he has some positive qualities that aren't making their way onto film.
That's
Genius
true.
has a cost. Genius has a cost.
There's
Hey,
no room for
I try to tell my wife that every day, but it's... So, Slice, have you seen the episode of Atlanta about the Goofy movie?
No, I have not.
Or a
Tell me
Goofy
more.
movie, I think. It is very, very funny. It is a mockumentary portraying a Goofy movie as the blackest film ever made. It's also, Atlanta is a wonderful, wonderful show. I highly recommend it. It went under the radar in a lot of ways when it was on. It's one of my favorite shows. Very funny. And a Goofy movie episode was really one of the highlights of the show for me. So I recommend checking it out.
All right, writing that on my list right under Hunt for Red October. There we go. Goofy movie Atlanta.
Goddamn monster.
Yeah, what about you, Dwight? Who's that naughty daddy in your mind?
Well, I had a hard time with this one, so I Googled naughty daddies. And
So is there a lot of overlap between naughty mommies and naughty daddies, or are these separate spheres?
the thing that links them is, I would say, unhealthy relationships with their stepkids. That's the primary thing.
Getting stuck in dryers. That's what happens.
Yeah, the stepmommies are always stuck in dryers, and the stepdaddies are always catching their stepdaughters skipping school or stealing money from them or getting in trouble. These girls are all troubled. You'll find that out once you do your research. But after perusing the internet a little bit, and my own personal history, the naughtiest father is James Tiberius Kirk. Captain Kirk is a terrible, terrible father.
Yeah.
We learn in Wrath of Khan, he has a grown-ass son that he has never told anybody about. He and, I believe the vernacular is baby mama. His baby mama and he are the only people that know about David.
And that baby mama has a name. She is Dr. Ruth Marcus. Yes.
I believe it's Dr. Carol Marcus. I'm almost positive it's Dr. Carol Marcus.
I think you're right. Yeah. And Carol would be a more appropriate late 70s, early 80s lady name. Yeah.
Right.
So.
But Ruth Marcus, if you're listening out there, shout out. I'm glad to have you. But he, he has this wonderful bond with Bones and Spock. They don't know anything about this kid. Bones might know about Carol Marcus, but he definitely doesn't know about the kid. And he's very standoffish with David. And by the end of the movie, they sort of come to this understanding that they're father and son, and they hug. And within a half of another movie, Kirk gets him killed. And not only does Kirk get him killed, he is killed on a planet that has respawned a dead Mr. Spock. And at no point does Captain Kirk think, hey, Spock is now alive again. Maybe I can do the same for my dead son.
God, how have I never thought of that? Yeah.
At no point he's like, that Genesis device is a miracle. Look at this. Spock's alive again. Shame about my dead son, but let's get the hell out of here before Christopher Lloyd wakes up.
Yeah, no, in the one act of the one sort of act of what we might call love that we really see Kirk perform is classic toxic masculinity, where he murders Christopher Lloyd. You Klingon bastard, you killed my son. Yeah, like he decides, oh, violence will prove my love for my son. Yeah.
I also want to really scold the writers of the third Star Trek movie, because they killed Kirk's son, but they didn't kill Saavik. And they had to recast Saavik because Kirstie Alley was too big for Star Trek 3 at that point. They recast her with some, I'm sure, a lovely person, but nobody knows who the hell this actress is. And they could have killed Saavik instead. The scene is, I'm going to kill one of these people, and Saavik is there, and Kirk's son is there, and you're like, well, surely they're going to kill the lady that's not Kirstie Alley. Nope, they kill Kirk's son. Devastating.
Yeah. Well, in Star Trek 77, we're going to learn that Saavik is Kirk's daughter. So,
Beck, who's that naughty father in your life, or fictional?
So, I've gone back and forth on this a lot, and I'm gonna a little bit follow in Dwight's wake, and say that I think my naughtiest father is Ned Stark from the Song of Ice and Fire book series, Game of Thrones television series, because Ned Stark is someone who I think day to day seems to be a loving guy, is good to his children. His children seem to like him. He has a weird relationship with his alleged born out of wedlock son, Jon Snow, but still Jon Snow seems to love him. He seems to love Jon. And then Ned Stark gets himself killed and gets like half of his own children killed. And I think that is bad parenting. It's
Agreed.
yeah. And a good father would also dismantle the hideous, oppressive feudal state in the North and build something that works for all fathers and children, not just his own fucking kids. Because one of the things that I'm really tired of is, and I guess a classic example here would be when the world's worst Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, when he was going through his confirmation business, there were all these op-eds written about how, oh, what a great father he is and how involved he is in his daughters' lives. And okay, yeah, that's great, but like that's the bare minimum of being a human being. Like being nice to your own children is science makes you do that. Like that's the point is, how do your and your children's actions help or hurt other people outside of your bloodline? This is actually the key, and whether you're okay or a total piece of shit. And so Ned Stark, the Brett Kavanaugh of Westeros. There you go. There you go.
I
Wow,
love that.
yeah.
'Cause there are a lot of shitty dads in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Tywin Lannister is who I would have thought of, but now that you point this out, it's got me rethinking things. Good point.
See, oh God, now I'm a real asshole because I, of course, have a contrarian take on Tywin Lannister. Tywin Lannister is who should have won Game of Thrones. He's the only person who knew his ass from his goddamn elbow in the entire show. Tywin Lannister was committed to his work. He believed in government by expertise. He also believed in maintaining peace. And
He also treated his kids like shit.
he did, yeah.
dog
But
shit.
in his defense, other than Tyrion, who had his own issues, his kids also were pieces of shit, and we saw them all as grown-ups. Like I didn't know what kind of dad he was when they were kids. So
Listen, we weren't there. Lannisport has its own culture.
Who's to say who's right and who's wrong?
Tywin Lannister had all of the social workers executed, so none of them can talk about the home visits they made to Casterly Rock.
I've never thought of Ned as like a shitty dad. I have thought about him being a shitty husband a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
all you had to do was have one conversation with your wife about who Jon was. You just
Yeah.
had to trust your wife once,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and we could have avoided a lot of this trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but better to gaslight her for 20 years. Yeah. Yeah. Although in Ned's defense, Catelyn doesn't make a lot of great political choices or choices about when to tell the truth and when to lie. So I can see how he might have been concerned she couldn't keep that secret.
The greatest mistake Ned made as a father is never teaching Rickon to zig and zag when he ran. That would have taken care of a lot of his issues.
Mm-hmm.
If he had just seen hit Peter Falk, Alan Arkin film The In-Laws, he would know about Serpentine. You have to run Serpentine. Yeah.
Or Apocalypto. Yep.
We're a very pro Mel Gibson podcast. I think that's established. That's it for our show. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
We hope you have a great week.
Thanks for listening. We love you.
Thank you for listening. This has been Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories and constant disappointments, as hosted by Michael Beck, Slice Hicks, and Dwight Slappe. Editing and production by Michael Sullivan. Our theme is Handel's Entrance of the Queen of Sheba for two oboes, strings, and Continuo allegro, as performed by the Advent Chamber Orchestra. Crystal Howe speaking.